Welcome to Order of Operations. The goal of this video will be to simplify expressions using the order of operations. Now, the order of operations are probably one of the most important set of rules you need to follow when performing mathematical calculations. It's kind of like the rules of the game. If everyone doesn't calculate mathematical procedures in the same way, then we would not obtain the same answers. So for consistency, it's extremely important that we follow the rules for the order of operations. And here they are. Number one, we need to calculate within the innermost parentheses or grouping symbols. And these grouping symbols can take on a variety of forms. Number two, we need to simplify all expressions with exponents. Number three, multiply and divide from left to right. And then number four, add and subtract from left to right. Now, there are a lot of acronyms or ways to remember the order of operations. I'm not a big fan of them, but here's a couple of them. One acronym is called Pemdas, P-E-M-D-A-S, and you can see P for parentheses, E for exponents, M for multiplication, and so on. You've probably also heard of "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally," just a phrase to help you remember the acronym Pemdas. Now, the reason I don't like this is that it does look like there are 6 steps to the order of operations, but in fact there are only 4. We have parentheses, exponents. Multiplication and division have the same priority, so you perform multiplication and division from left to right. You do not multiply first and then divide. And the same thing, these last two have the same priority, so there's really only 4 steps. So it's okay to use these shortcuts to remember these steps, but just remember there are only 4, not 6 steps. Well, the best thing to do is go ahead and give these a try. Simplify the following expression. It's very tempting to work this from left to right, but first off, there's no parentheses. Second, there's no exponents, so step 3 is multiply and divide. So we have to perform this multiplication here before we add and subtract. So if we do that, we'd have 12 minus 2 times 4, of course, is 8, plus 9. Now, subtraction and addition have the same priority, so you work from left to right. So 12 minus 8 would give us 4, plus the 9 is equal to 13. Let's take a look at a few more. Here you can see it gets more involved rather quickly, and step 1 is work within the innermost parentheses. So we need to perform this operation first, and it's very helpful to rewrite this each time instead of trying to make shortcuts. So we have 7 minus 9 should give us a negative 2, the third power. Now we're still working within the innermost parentheses, so since we have an exponent here, we have to cube negative 2. Of course, negative 2 to the third power would be negative 8. Still working within the parentheses, now we have addition and multiplication. Multiplication takes priority over addition, so the next step, still inside the parentheses, 3 times negative 8 would be a negative 24. Again, still working within the parentheses, we have to simplify 15 plus negative 24. 15 plus negative 24 would give us negative 9. Next step, we have division, addition, and multiplication. Multiplication, division take priority over addition, so we multiply and divide from left to right. So 6 divided by 2, that would give us 3, plus 3 times negative 9 would give us negative 27, and then finally we end up with negative 24. So we're showing a lot of work here, but it's definitely going to be worth it to make sure we get the correct answer. Next one, we have a lot going on. Again, we start with the innermost parentheses, so we're going to start here. So negative 3 plus 7 would give us positive 4. Still working within the innermost parentheses, we need to simplify this part. Of course, 4 minus 1 would give us 3. Next step, we need to simplify our exponents here and here. 4 squared is 16. 2 cubed is 8. Our next step is to perform multiplication and division as it occurs from left to right. So here we have some division, here we have multiplication. 20 divided by 5 would give us 4. 16 times 3 would give us 48. And the last step, add and subtract as it occurs from left to right. 4 plus 48 would be 52, minus 8 should give us 44. think I have one more. When you have an expression in fraction form, we need to simplify the numerator and denominator separately before we deal with the fraction. That is mentioned in step 1 of the order of operations. So let's perform the operations in the parentheses in the numerator. 6 plus 4, of course, would be 10. 6 plus 4 is 10. 7 minus 5 would be 2. In the denominator, we have 4 minus 2. Of course, that's 2. Step 2 in the order of operations would be exponents. So we'll simplify this in the numerator and this in the denominator. 2 to the 5th power is equal to 32. 2 to the 2nd power is equal to 4. So we're treating the numerator and denominator as if they were their own problems, and then we'll simplify the fraction at the end. So step 3 of order of operations, multiply and divide as it occurs from left to right. So here we have multiplication, and here we have multiplication as well. So we have 40 plus 32 and 12 minus 4. So it looks like we have 72 divided by 8, which of course is equal to 9. I hope this overview of the order of operations helps you to simplify expressions properly.